not equal. Suppose you are going to do something like you have registered your name in some site. While doing something, somewhere else you used the same thing, you typed the same thing. Like you registered your Gmail, you have Gmail. Okay, abc@gmail.com. The same Gmail ID you are going to use in some registering in some site. Okay, there by mistake, if you give space, what happens? It will throw error because it will compare is it matching or not, equal or not. If it is not matching because of just space, it is not good. So always you do trim. You trim your strings because sometimes due to some reasons by mistake or something we may get some spaces. Okay, at the time of C, username password you entered here, and if you are doing something, same username password it will fetch from the database. Whenever you try to log in, it will compare. Okay, if you are entering one space by mistake, it may not show proper error. If it is showing error, just it is invalid, you won't understand what is the problem. You think like it's a correct. But that spaces when you enter there, maybe we may not observe properly also. Right? For example, in Gmail, if you enter your mail ID, maybe if space is there at the end, we don't realize, right? That is the reason whenever you are doing comparison, you use this trim method. Here, this Robin is same. Similarly, this Robin also same. But still we are getting like it is not equal. Okay? Understood? Why is it happening? Because of space. In that scenario, what you do? S1 dot trim. Okay? S1 dot trim. You use trim function. Okay? And similarly, S2 also you write trim. Okay? First try with first one, trimming one, and then see we should pass. Both the strings are equal. Okay? Because trim what it will do if you have any spaces before and after. Now consider I have some more spaces before also. It will remove all the white spaces before and after the string. Then it will consider it like. So here after trim you will get just only Robin. That Robin is comparing with S2 Robin. Here equals ignore case. That is the reason it's going smooth. Okay. Now any doubt in trim, equals, ignore case and split. These are the most frequently used methods of string class. Okay.
Okay.
Now, yeah, tell me someone is asking something.
No.
Okay. Now, we'll go to debug mode. We can see what are the values of this. See how to do debug, how to run this program in debug mode. To add debug mode, first we have to add some breakpoints. If you want to run your program in debug mode, first you have to add some debug points. That means a breakpoint. See, if you right click on Eclipse, okay, you can see toggle a breakpoint. Okay, or else if you click and do, is it showing? Now I am showing with mouse. Okay, there is a small dot before line number 12. Okay, in line number 12, before 12, there is a small dot. Are you guys able to observe? That is the breakpoint. To add breakpoint, just you right click and then click on toggle breakpoint. Now I added one more in 28. Okay, now I am going to add one more in 34th line. You guys just keep the cursor before 34 and then just right click it and click on breakpoint. Okay, similarly, I am going to add another breakpoint at line number 14. Okay, instead of right click and click on toggle point, just if you do double click also, it considers like a toggle point. See, just double click. Okay, just double click. Clear? If you do some double click, it will toggle it. Okay, like this, you have n number of breakpoints. Okay, you can keep any number based on your interest. Okay, now what I am going to do is I will keep a breakpoint and I will run this program in debug mode. When it reaches that breakpoint, instead of executing, instead of proceeding the execution, it will stop there. Okay, and it will show you a pop-up like you want to convert it into debug mode. Yes, if you click on that, then you will get debug mode. There you can go line by line execution and you can see what are the values of variables and all. Okay, now let me show you something. I have a method. Let me test. Yeah, here already I have. See here. Yesterday we wrote one advanced for loop. Okay, there. This is my main method. Here I have a method void show. Okay, I made that show method as static. Okay. Now how to access that show method? Using class name advanced for loop.show. Okay, here I added a breakpoint. Okay, now I am going to run this program in debug mode. Okay, now how to run? Exception. Where is that class? It is there in advanced for loop. Right click on it and then here earlier what we were doing, run as Java application. Now debug as Java application. Below the run as option, we have another option, debug as. Okay, debug as Java application. You do that. Okay, it will show like you want to open in debug perspective. Yes, when it reaches debug point, it will show you that option. Okay, now this is how debug looks like, debug mode. See here, right side I am moving the cursor. You guys see right side top corner. Earlier we were in J, that means Java mode. Now we move to debug mode. Okay, just click on J, then you will get normal one, Java one. Okay, if you click on that debug, then you will go to debug mode. Okay, when you run your program in debug mode, if there is any debug point, then or break point, it will, whenever it reaches that place, it will stop the execution and it will ask you to move to the debug mode. This is how debug mode looks like. Okay, now here, see, currently debug mode is at line number 18th. Cursor is there. It is going to execute this method. Okay, now you guys see I moved the cursor to top. Search button is, search option is there, right? Below the search option you have two more. One is F6, another one is F5. Step over means go to next line. Okay, step over means go to next line. Another one, step into. If it is a method, it will go into the method. If it is not a method, next it will go to next line. Okay, now generally if you want to go to next line, you have to use F6. If you want to go inside the method, you have to use step into F5. Okay, now let me go through this. Here I am going to call show method, right? Generally program execution go in sequential fashion. After this line where it has to go, generally it should go to show. If you run just step over, Okay, that means F6. It will go to next line. It won't go inside the show method. It will execute. Internally it will go, execute, and it will come back also, and then automatically when you use this option F6 step over, it will come to next line. It won't go into show method. Okay, but it will execute. It will execute, but to run in debug mode, we are not going into the show method. Okay, this is how. See, one by one, next line, next line, next line. Like that, it will execute line by line. Clear? Like this, you can see. See here, you are on some step. Whenever you are on particular step, your right side variables. Are you guys are seeing the cursor? There are some variables I. What is the I value right now? 6. Now till now it executed some 5 times. Now I value is 6. Like that. Okay. A of, see here. See, like this, if you keep I value is 7. Okay. A of I is having some value. If you want to see that value A of I, what is the value? Okay, just select that A of I and click on inspect. A of I value is 8. Here just I declared a string, so you know what is the value of A of I. A of 7. Okay, see here, if you keep cursor at I value, you can see. If you select A of I, okay, you can see A of I value also. Okay, inspect. Okay, similarly I also, if you select just that I, if you do inspect, it will show I value. Clear? You guys understood how to see value of the variable in the middle? Okay, now here you can see directly because we have this, but when we are in doing any project, dynamically we will get some values in the runtime that will be stored in an array. Okay, what are the values of that array? If you want to see, just you select it and then inspect, so that you can see all the values of that array. These are the values of array. Okay, A is a array, right? We selected A and then right click and then inspect. You can see what are the values of A array, 10, 20, 30, like that. Okay, clear? Like this we can run in debug mode. Just what we will do is, we will keep some breakpoints and then we will run our application in debug mode. Generally we run as Java application. Here we do debug as Java application. Okay, now here one more option is there. Just stop the script, that means terminate, or else if you resume, go to resume means start executing. Okay, if you do here one, it will go one step, one line like that. Okay, if you just click on resume, it will finish it, remaining portion. Okay, if any breakpoints are there in between, it will go to that breakpoint. There again it will stop. Stop means it will wait. Okay. If no breakpoints, it will finish the program execution. Okay. So there is a option stop. There is a option resume. Okay. And here we have seen step over. We'll see next time we will run one more time and we'll see step into. Here one more option, step return. These three generally we will use. Step over, step into, step return. Okay. Now currently it's executing. It did not finish it, let it finish, or else we'll stop. Okay. And then we'll run it one more time. Okay. See here, I have a debug point. Consider you are getting some error here. You don't know why are you getting that error. If you want to go line by line, Then consider here something. Let me explain. With a method you guys will understand. Show and add sum. Add. Generally what it will do is int p comma int q. Let me return this add. Return int q. Equal to 0. Sorry. Int sum equal to 0. Return sum equal to p plus q. Return sum. I am returning some value that is an integer. That is why I am making the return type of my method as int. Here I am going to use that by calling the method add. What add will do? It will add the two numbers whatever I will pass. I am passing 10 comma 200. It will take those two and it will return. Okay, whenever it is returning, okay, what I will do? I will assign it to a variable and I will print it, or else directly I can print. How to print directly? Sysout sum of the two numbers, is like this. I am going to add. Okay, I will call this method. They will return the value. That value will be concatenated to this string. Clear? Now let me run it. See here 10 and 20, 210 I will get. Okay. Now here while writing the logic, somehow what I did sum and this one, okay, and by mistake I forgot this line. Okay, by mistake what I did, I forgot that adding that addition line. Simply I declared a variable and I am returning it. Here I am passing some values 10 and 20. At this time what happens? I will get value 0 because add method called and it executed there internally those addition logic and added value assignment to sum I forgot. That is the reason I am not getting the actual sum. I am getting simply 0. Okay, now I want to debug. This is a big program. Consider here some problem is there inside this one. I don't know how to go inside. Okay, now what I will do, I will debug. I will add a debug point here and I will run this program in this. Okay, this is simple additional program, so you will understood clearly. Okay, we have to run in debug, sorry. So we go to in debug mode. Here we understood this advanced for loop function. In advanced for loop class, add function is having some issue. I want to go and figure out. So I added a breakpoint there. When it reaches that, see here, to go inside this add, I have to use this method this option step into. Okay, earlier I used step over. Now also I can go to next line using step over, but using the step over, I realized when it printed the first statement, there only problem is there. That's why what I did, I want to move inside that add method. Okay, now let me run it one more time. Okay, I added a debug point in add method wherever error is coming. Okay, when I reach that method, I have to click step into. So what happens? It will go to see here. Before that, sysouts are there. Because of that one, it entered into that. Okay, actually we should not use all this. When it reaches to add, at that time only we'll go inside. Okay, see here, it is going to some other class. What is that class name? Because of system.out.ln, all those, and that is also having some other by default object class is the super class. So in that hierarchy it will execute. So this is not related to us framework. So if you want to come out of a function, you use this F7. Okay, we went inside another function and we came. Again we came back. Again step into this add. This time it entered into add. Okay. So if you want to go in earlier, if you use step over, what happens? It will go to next line. If you use step into, it will go inside that method. If you use F7, see here, generally if you use this step over, next line it should execute is this sum, return sum statement. If without executing that, it will execute. If you don't want to go line by line that method, just you use F7, it will come out of that method. Okay, it will come out of that one. Okay, now go to next one. Okay, you understood how to go inside a method, how to come out of that method, and how to go to next line using these three. If you are in the middle of some script execution, if you don't want to continue, just click on this terminate. Or else if you want to do resume, okay, that means execution, let it go. Then click on resume. Okay, it will finish that. Okay, here some more breakpoints are there. When you click on resume, it came from here to this 24th line breakpoint. After click on resume, again it came to 27th line. Like that, it moved from one breakpoint to another breakpoint in case of resume. If there are no breakpoints, automatically it will go to end of the line. That means it will execute fully. Okay. Is it clear how to run in debug mode?
Yeah, Venkat. Venkat, one question.
Yeah.
So can we change the value at the time of debugging?
Runtime? No. In runtime we cannot change. Okay. In runtime you cannot change the value of it. Okay.
Okay. So at the time of debugging, I cannot assign like some other value to this sum.
Correct. You cannot. The things what you can do is you can add some more debug points. That's it. From my understanding. Okay. Because even we didn't use much. Only these options only I used. Okay.
Okay.
So string class is over, and you guys understood how to add some breakpoints and how to move into debug mode. Okay, inside method and how to come out of the method. So like string class, we have something called array list. Another class array list. One more class hash map. These two are also similar to string class. That means those two are also predefined classes given by Java people. Okay. So we'll see what is the use of that one. See here, there is a class array. Let me write another class. Sorry, not array list. Okay, array list demo. This is also simple. Here just we will see how to add some of the objects into an array and how to refer those objects. It is very simple one. Okay. Now we have a class array list. 1 second, give me a minute. Array list demo. Here generally array list is having put method and get method. Just we will see only those two. Okay, it is like a all these we call it as collection. Collection refers to it's a collecting group of objects of which type, some type of X. Okay. So what these classes will do, collection classes, array list, hash map, all these we call it as collection classes. It will holds multiple objects, that objects of any type. Consider I have a class ABC. So ABC objects, if I want to store all ABC objects into an array, okay, how to do that? Okay, we know integer array. We know some different type of array, like string array, float array, like that. If I want some, consider I have a class student. I have a class student. If I want to keep all student class, for a class I can create a number of objects, right? See here, I am going to write one class. Class student. See, in one Java file, this is a Java file whose name is arraylistdemo.java. In one .java file, you can have a number of classes. Okay, till now we wrote every class is a separate, like separate one. Now here I can write separate, or else I can write inside also. But the best practice is every class you write it as separate. Okay. Now here I am going to write a class student. Okay. For a student, what are the names? What are the fields it will be having? Generally, it will be having int roll number. Consider int roll number and string name. Okay. And in addition to that, some double some percentage or whatever it may be, score. Okay, double score. Like that, one student is having these three. Okay, so here I am not going to write any methods, just I will write a constructor to initialize the object of this student. Okay. student, student. So constructor, how to write? How to write constructor? Same name as class name. Okay, and it should not have any return type. Now, at the time of object creation, what I will do is I will pass the roll number. Okay, I will pass the roll number. Similarly, I will pass the name of the student while creating object. And similarly, I will pass the score also. Okay. So string name and double score. Here I am taking the same names, local variable names and instance variable names same, so that we can try this keyword one more time. Okay, roll this number equal to, okay, roll number, and this dot name equal to name. Okay, and this dot score equal to score. Clear? So this is array list demo class. Here my intention is I want to keep objects of this student class. If you have a class, you can create a number of objects for that class, right? For student class, I am going to create 4 or 5 objects. Student S1, one student I created. Okay, for that guy, while creating object, we should, while creating, we should use the constructor and initialize. That roll number is 101. That guy name is Suresh. Okay, and whose score is 76.2. Okay, like that we can create a number of objects. See, I am creating another user S2, another user S3, sorry, not users, all these are students. Okay, S3 and S4 and S5, like that. I have 5 students whose names are Suresh and Mahesh. Okay, whose roll number is 102 and percentage is 77. And another guy name is Satish, okay, whose percentage is 78 and roll number also 103. Similarly, one more student 104 and Suresh 1 and percentage is 79.2 and similarly 86.8. Okay, and Suresh 3, like that, names anything. Okay, we have some objects like this. Okay, for a student, there are 5 students. Each student have some info, right? So student class objects I created. I want to keep all these in one list. Okay, I want to keep all these in one list. In that scenario, I should go for something called array list. Array list, what we do is, array list is a collection of or a group of objects of some type. Okay, here student type objects I am going to keep in this array list. Is it clear? Now, how to create an object of, how to create array list object? Generally, see, array list also a class. We have to create an object for array list. While creating object, we have to specify this array list holds the objects of some other class X or some other class student. Okay, now how to create that one, we'll see. Okay, now how to create array list object, array list. See, if you do array list, okay, and array list AL equal to new array list. Okay, here E means any type. See here, which type of objects this array list? What is the array list object name? AL. Okay, what it holds? It holds objects of type students. Then you specify here this E as student, and here also student. Okay, this is an array list whose name is AL. It will store some object of class student. Clear? Similarly, if I want to store some string objects, okay, then I can make it string, array lists of string, okay, string. if I want to store objects of some class, like string examples or any class, whatever it may be. Okay, here student is one class. Okay, so some other class like string examples, or here you have private demo and anything it can be. You have to declare it like this. Is it clear how to create an object for array list class? Okay. Now, once if you create an array list class, okay, how to add objects? Our objects S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5 into it. Okay. So, how to add here AL. Okay, string one also you can comment. AL dot C. Add. Okay, add. There is a method add. By using this one, you can add. Okay, so I can add S1. So AL, this array list, using this array list, I can get the details of student 1, student 2, student 3, like that, all students' details. Okay, similarly, one more time, add. Okay, now let's do. Similarly, you can add all the students to this array list. All students three, 4, and 5. Okay, so this array list, okay, like string, how it has some of the functions, array list also has some functions or methods. Those are like add, okay, like get or remove, like that. Different methods are there to remove some object from this array list, to add an object to this array list. Okay, how many objects are there in this array list, to know that size, AL dot size. Okay, like that, different are there. Okay, so is it empty? Is this array list contain some objects or not? Okay, or else if you ask, does it, this array list contains some particular object, it will return true or false, does it contain or not. Like that, it has some number of methods. Okay, clear? Now here what I am going to do is, I stored some student objects into array list. Okay, now what I will do, I will iterate through that array list and I will get all the objects and I will print the student information. That is what I am going to do here. Okay, there is a for loop, we know. Okay, here array list name, if you write AL, how many objects are there in that, for all the things it will execute, and what it will return, every time it will return a student object, right? Student. Okay, student object, I am declaring a variable student obj. Okay, so from AL it will take one object and it will give it to this student obj, that is of type student, because AL contains student type objects. Okay, now from that, what can we do? Using that student object, we can print all the names, student info and all. Okay, now I want to print student name. And how to get the name? Dot name. Okay, similar, after that, one more thing what I have to do, I will print student roll number, student roll number. Okay, and what is the roll number? How to get? From that object we will get, right? Student obj dot roll number. Okay, plus student percentage. Okay, so how to get it? From that object again we will get dot score. Okay, like this, all the info I can print. Control X, sorry, it came out of that. Okay, now clear. Using for loop I am printing. So what I did, I added elements to an array list and I am traversing or iterating to that array list, getting one object, again printing the values of it. Okay, now this is the name, student name, and what is the percentage roll number. Here let me add some space so that it will be easy to read. Is it clear? Student name Suresh, roll number and his percentage. Another student name is this, his roll number, percentage, like that. So we can add this. Similarly, we can remove some of the objects also. AL dot remove. Okay, remove means you can say which object it has to remove, that is one way, or else at particular index. Okay, if you mention 0, then currently we have 5 entries. If it removes the object which is at 0, that means S1. S1 is this guy. Suresh details it should not show. Okay, you can do this. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Like this, we have so many methods in this also. One by one, if you go to that, we'll understand easily. Okay, those are self-explanatory, so no need to spend much time on it. Okay, easily we can understand. Okay, now this is to store objects of some class. That class can be anything. Okay, it is like an array of objects, or we call it as array list. Okay, similarly, like array list, there are a number of classes. Generally we use array list and most of the time strings for some other purpose. And one more thing is hash map. Okay, hash map is another type. See here, I have some students like this. Student name and student marks, or else phone numbers, anything. Okay, take marks only, better, anything is okay, fine. Okay, like this, for this student, this is the marks. For this students, this is the percentage. Like that, if you have 10 students, Rajesh percentage, okay, 56, Subhash 75, okay, like that, ABC 98. Like that, if you have key value pairs, for this percentage, for this person, this is the value. For this person, this is the value. For this person, this is the value. Like that, if you have some key value, here key is Rajesh and value is 56. Another key Subhash, his value is 75. Another key is ABC and his value is 98. Like this, if you want to store key value pair in this, but Okay, in that scenario, what we will do is we are going to use something called a hash map. Hash map, see here, while declaring array list, okay, one type of class type objects I can store, right? For example, if I have another thing, two types of things I want to store, that is not possible here. So one example is here I mentioned key value pair. For this is the one. Or else for Rajesh, he has a personal information, something like father name, his schooling and goals and all. For all those, another class object. So personal details class object I want to store here. Rajesh personal details object I will store here with Rajesh name as key and his personal details object. Similarly, Subhash and his personal details class object. Inside that class, we will be having some info related to that guy. Okay, like that. If you have something like key value pairs, in that scenario, we should go to hash map. Okay. Here. Hash map demo. Hash map also a class. One second. Array list. See here, array list, hash map. When you are using these classes are part of array list, hash map. All these are part of util package. Util is a sub package in Java package. Okay, so there is a big folder or a big package Java. Inside that one sub folder or sub package util is there. Inside that util package array list class is there. That means inside that util folder array list class is there. Class array list. Okay, so whenever you are using array list, it is importing that array list class, right? Earlier, when we use string and all, it did not import because by default, java.lang package is the default package. Even though if you don't import, you can access all the classes which are available in java.lang package. That is the default package in Java programming language. Okay, similarly, if you are going to use somebody's class, that classes will be available in some package. Okay, you have to identify in which package that class is available. You have to import like this. Okay. Now hash map. Hash map is used for key value pairs purpose. Hash map. Okay. Hash map. HM equal to new hash map. Okay. Here K means key, V means value. This K can be of any type. Okay, this can be a here. It need not to be object, it can be a primitive type or anything. Generally we use objects. For storing primitive values we have normal arrays and all. Okay. So see here hash map is also available in util package. Okay. So that is the reason it imported by default. By default in the sense whenever we add, automatically it imported that. Without that import, it is not possible. It will show error. Okay. Import hash map like that, it is showing C. Okay. Now our keys. Now I am going to do this. This kind of example I am going to do. Okay. Rajesh his values and Subhas his values and this. Okay. or else their phone numbers I will keep. Okay, consider if you are going to keep phone number, that also you consider in a string. Anything, it can be of any type. Okay, so you are telling my keys are of string type as well as my values are of also string type. Similarly, here also you have to. Yeah, tell me. Hello? Did anyone ask any question?
No.
No. Okay, fine. Okay, hash map. Okay, hash map is a class, right? Class means we'll create object. Okay, how to create object? This is the syntax. Okay, once if you have hash map object, you can add some of the methods. Here you have a method like put. There in array list you have add. Here you have a method called put to add some values into this. Okay, put. I am putting some value like Venkat and his phone number is this. Similarly, I am going to add another object to hash map. So how to add? Put. Okay. So array. Send dot put. Like this, we can add some key value pairs to hash map, and then later based on key value, you can retrieve the value of that particular key. Whatever the value is there for that key, that you can. Can you guys tell me why I'm getting here when I add Desha's name here? Key value one string, fine. Okay, let me add one more. HM dot put. Desha. And then his phone number. Maybe last time when I select hm dot put, here with 2 parameters, some other things are there. Maybe I might have selected something else or something wrong at that time. Okay, put. So some more like Robin.
So the key should be unique, right?
Yeah, always key should be unique. Okay.
Okay.
Like this, you consider some are there. Okay, key value pairs. Like this, you can add based on keys. You can, if you want to retrieve values, you can retrieve it, get off. Okay, based on key. Some key like I want to get phone number of Venkat. Okay, then it will give me the value of that hm.get. Based on keys, I can retrieve its corresponding values. Okay, that is possible. It's sorry, here it is showing null. We'll see why is it showing VNKAT. Okay, reason is here I mentioned while adding, I mentioned V as capital. It did not find any key with this small Venkat. While retrieving, I gave small v. Okay, it did not find any key with that. That is the reason it is showing null. Okay, now we'll see it should throw proper value. Okay, like this you can add some values to hash map also. Here you can add like key value pairs. Okay, based on key you can retrieve, and you will be having so many methods here also, like all you can iterate and you can read and print the values. Okay, is it empty? What are the values? Remove any object. Is the keys contains some key like Venkat? Okay, HM contains Venkat. Like that we can do so many operations also here. Okay, so if you want you can remove it, or if you want to replace some key value pair with something you can do that also. Okay, like that we have so many methods. All these things we can understand easily. Okay, you guys go through it later. Okay, how to how to create object for that class is important. Okay, later all the methods we can call and use it. That's it about hash map. I think we completed this also, and any doubts in this you guys can ask me. With this I think Java related concepts are completed. From next week we'll start Selenium. Okay.
Venkat, can you give an example of this array list and hash map for automation script? Where do we use this?
Okay, let me go through one example. Did you guys see any application? If you click on something, it will open another window like that. See, some examples. Let me think. If anyone knows, tell me this kind of application. See here, this is an application consider. Okay, it will open a new window. When I click on that, like a pop-up will get, or else something we will get. Okay, let me try one more thing. Consider this. There are some sites. Okay, what happens is whenever you click on some option, it will open another window related to that. I think Citibank and all. I think many people might have used Citibank, right? When you click on login, whatever the page. Okay, now I can show you that Citibank. See this login. What happens when I click on login? It opened another window, right? Are you guys able to see the screen?
Yeah.
See here, this is one window, right? When I click on that log on, it opened another window. Consider here some more option. If you click that, consider it may open another window also. Okay, like that your application is opening multiple windows. In that scenario, first we are operating on this first window initially. Later, after click on login, I should move to this window to perform next operations like entering credentials and all. At that time, what we have to do is we should switch the control from this first window to second window. That is required. After switching only, you have to enter your login credential. Now, the question comes is how to switch from one window to another window. Every window is having a unique ID. Okay, that we call it as window handle. Okay, what is window handle? It is a unique number. Consider a big number, long number. Okay, it for every window there will be a unique number that we call it as window handle. Okay, now I have two windows. For each window, one unique window handle is there. Whenever a window comes, what I will do is I will store the window handle in one hash map. Login window is the key and its corresponding window handle I will read and store as a value. Okay, login window is the key and its value is window handle of that window. Similarly, here second window, its key like that. Okay, key is second window and its window handle I will keep. Like that I will keep key value pairs in hash map. Now if I want to switch from first to second, there is a method switch. For that switch you have to pass this window handle. Whatever the window handle you will pass, it control switch to that particular window. Okay, now I have 10 windows like this. All windows having window handle, where to store? In that scenario, I need a hash map. Window 1 and its key, window 2 and its handle, window 3 and its handle, window 4, like that. Now, where I want to switch, that window value I will get. Okay, if I want to switch, let me explain. You guys understood the scenario? See, I have 4 windows. Window 1 and window 1 is the key and its value is window handle. Window 1 handle, that might be some number. Programmatically we will get it. Similarly, like this I have 4 windows. First I have to do some operations in window 1. Later I should move to window 2. Later I should move to window 3. After some operations doing on window 3 and window 4, again I have to switch back to window 1. In that scenario, what I have to do? I must need that window handle. So there is a method switch. Using switch takes window handle. If I want to go to first window, all these are there in hash map. Consider hash map HP. Then if I write, now I want to switch to third window. How to do? HP dot get of window 3. That means window 3 handle it will return. So get of 3. HP of get of 3 means this is the value. This value window handle I will pass as argument to switch. Then it will switch to that particular window. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, thanks.
Like this we'll use key value pairs. Now, array list. Generally, sometimes what I will do, I will say find an element based on this. Some criteria I will say with this XPath. You will understand XPath is later. For now, you consider XPath is a way to identify the elements. I mentioned like with some XPath find the element. It will return the element. In that page, if I have multiple elements, okay, if it finds one element with that XPath, it will return that element object. If it finds multiple, it will return array of object or list of objects. In that scenario, I must need array list to assign objects of that elements. Okay. This one also clear? I think this array list and hash map, you guys will understand exact scenarios when we start Selenium. They are finding elements and all. When we find elements, if it is returning multiple elements, we'll store those objects in array list. Okay, some places like Windows and all, in that scenario, we'll use hash map. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, guys, if you have any doubts, ask me. Okay, from next week, we'll start Selenium. Okay.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Before going to Selenium, my suggestion is just to go through functions once. Here we wrote some functions. Okay, if anybody do not have idea about functions, like somewhere we wrote addition number, right? Add. Yeah, like this. Just writing function, how to call the function in your main. Okay, if you guys forgot the syntax, how to write a function like this, return type and function name and parameters, and if it is returning here wherever you are catching, okay, wherever you are calling, catch that value, whatever it returns, and assign to variable, those basics, and how to write a class, and how to create object for that class, and how to access members using that class. If these things should be very clear before starting Selenium. Otherwise, there if I say we are extending this class, those things are simple. You will say, okay, extend keyword is there, some functions we are getting. Like that I can explain in one word so that you will understand and recollect whatever we discussed in last classes. But if it is object creation and all, always if you are handy, then you can understand easily. Oh, I will say this is the class, there is a click method. So how to use it? We should create the object. So that class object will create, using that object will call the click method. Okay? Okay, clear?
Yep.
And one more thing I forgot to discuss, forgot in the sense, generally in functions it will come. Okay, here add method takes int p and q, right? Two parameters. P comma q it is taking. Here we are passing two values. Similarly for functions, you can pass objects also as arguments. Okay, for any function, sometimes if you want to pass some data related to one student, you pass that student object itself. Okay, then that function will take and do operations. Suppose student marks M1, M2, M3, like that, 3 marks are there, 3 variables. If you want to find the average of that student, you pass that student objects. From there it will read M1 and M2 and it will do average and it will return the average of it. So like that, for a function, you can pass, here I am passing 10, 200 or 0, 2011, here some numbers I am passing, right? Like this, we can pass objects also arguments. Similarly, functions can accept objects as parameters. Similarly, functions can return, like here sum is a simple int type. It can return an object also after modifying it. Okay? Clear? One example is whatever we use today, get. See here, our array list, you see, add. Array list class, add a function. What function? Add, its name. It is taking object, right? So I can pass objects as argument. That add will take. Okay. See, while writing, they might have written like this. Add function takes student argument. Okay. So a function can take objects as arguments. Similarly, it can return objects also. Okay. Is it clear? Any doubt is there?
Yeah, it is clear.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Have a nice day. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Pankaj.
See you on next class. Okay, bye.
Thanks. Bye.